family? Is another one. This is going to be a 10-year update of a solar system. I have been implementing solar personally for over 10 years. A lot of things go on in those 10 years. So I'm going to walk you through the journey. I'm going to show you every little detail. And I'm going to show you the money that was saved. Guys, I'm going to do a series of videos. So you stay tuned to my videos. Me and my wife was wondering if we should really share this information. But I like to just be transparent, you know. So I share the information and show you what solar can do for you. And just making the right investments. And solar is definitely the top investment right now that I can think of on how to keep money in my pocket. Because I want people to understand the financial implications of going solar. So when you understand what I understand, then you have a proper understanding. In Jamaica, the cheapest form of renewable energy and most reliable is solar, and most available as well. This is one of my cabins in the Blue Mountains. How would I just pitch a house in the middle of nowhere if not for solar? I would have to run one generator and make a bag of noise. But with solar, listen. And by the way, at this moment, clothes are drying in the clothes dryer. 6,000 watts is being utilized right this moment. Not a problem. No noise, no issues. Join me on this little journey, and I'm going to show you every little detail of what is being run by the solar system. So come in. All right. So the first step now, right here, our washroom, basement slash power room. Let us start with what I had for 10 years. Essential Solar is 5 years old. I was not in the solar business 10 years ago. I actually got into the business because at the time, actually, I wanted to do my main house. And I just didn't have the option that I wanted. I didn't have the price point that I wanted. And I didn't have access to the setup that I wanted, how I wanted it set up, you know. But I got this inverter. I got this inverter. I think this is one of them that I have for 10 years now. This is one of the older ones. 10 years ago, I purchased these inverters from solar companies, and they're still in existence today. These are 10-year-old inverters that I had in some stores I had. The stores closed down, and I repurposed the inverters. Look at these charge controllers. This is old school stuff. I don't sell this stuff. This is old stuff. But these inverters are good. The charge controllers are still good. So I repurpose them in my cabin here in the woods. Because these inverters are good at working without interacting with JPS. One of the problems that back in the day I used to have, I hire an installer, professional installer, from the company where I purchased the equipment. Why? I used to lose inverters, like inverter just mash up. I found out that is because it was connected to JPS power. So I just disconnect all of the JPS because I just get afraid. But this is an off-grid cabin. This is perfect for off-grid situation because JPS is not here. So that struggle of worrying about if JPS, I guess if some surge would come in and mash up the inverter then. And it used to bother me a lot back in those days. Brand new technology, different technology nowadays. At Essential Solar, we do not sell these. This is old stuff. I'm giving you a walkthrough of my journey, my personal journey through solar. How it has impacted me financially and in other ways as well. And we're here in the Blue Mountains. The air is very crisp and nice. Back in the day, when I when I get into solar, lithium batteries were just way too expensive. It was just 10 years ago, I don't even know if them didn't even exist properly. They sold me the system with some batteries that you have to throw water in them. Lead batteries, lead acid batteries, you have to throw water in them. And them batteries they will mash up all in 1 year time. You have to change out some of the batteries them and stuff. If you forget to throw back water in them batteries, then them just mash up. Fast forward to today, we got lithium batteries. As you can see, you can use back all of that old stuff. Buy yourself some Essential Solar lithium batteries. You're good again for the next 10-15 years. For this cabin, we put 6 of the 10 kilowatt hour batteries. Remember, I don't have a backup generator at this cabin. I just needed 4 and I add 2 more. just to make sure that we don't run out of power. This cabin, a two-bedroom cabin, it's an Airbnb. This cabin offers a passive income. I want to remind you that this cabin is in the middle of the bushes. There is no GPS nearby here. Even if there was GPS, basically that passive income would become a passive income for GPS because I would end up just having to take the money that the guests pay and basically just pay it over to GPS because this house uses a lot of power. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but the dryer is running right now. This is a water heater. At Essential Solar, we always insist that you get a low power consuming water heater. And the lowest power consuming water heater that I know of is a water heater they sell down at ATL. Only pulls 1,600 watts. That's the water heater you want. All of them instant water heater that is pulling 10,000 watts, it will make no sense because this is a 8 kilowatt inverter. This can only push out 8,000 watts. The dryer run. Let's check this out. The dryer is pulling 5,000 watts, 5.3 kilowatts from this inverter. Everything is just running smooth. I think it's time now for us to take a look at what else is being powered by this 10-year-old solar system, except for the batteries. So I say I'm going to be transparent. This is a two-bedroom, one-bathroom, fully air-conditioned cabin in the middle of the Blue Mountains. It not really set up, but guess what? I say we'll be transparent, so we're just going to show you it the same way. All right. Welcome to my little cottage cabin in the middle of the Blue Mountains. I don't know about you. I know I could not tell the difference whether or not I'm in the middle of some nice apartment in some city or in New York City or wherever, or you're in the middle of the woods, based on the amenities that are here. Double door ice maker, refrigerator. So I'm showing you guys what is here. Showing you guys what is here. 24,000 BTU air conditioner, applying cool air to the living, dining, and kitchen area. Again, family, I have no generator. The batteries and the solar panels have to provide 100% of the power. And we'll make a pizza with this oven here. You can imagine how much power that pulls. Oh, this pulls a lot of power. This is a cooktop, two burner cooktop, 240 volts, two burner cooktop. We have this. This pulls a lot of power. This is the electric kettle, electric rice cooker. All of these things have heating elements. That's why I'm pointing them out. So you understand the amount of power that is being used whenever we have visitors. Never forget about this 24,000 BTU AC. We've been in here a while now, so turn on the AC. Because this cabin, I put huge panels, glass panels, so that bring in the Blue Mountains inside. They're not windows, so we can't open them for letting in the breeze or anything like that. It's kind of how I like my thing. Once you're in here, the air conditioning will be on because in here will get hot whenever there's any sunlight. Sunlight will penetrate through these large glass panels. Those 6 lithium batteries, 10 kilowatt hour lithium batteries, and the 32 430 watt panels supply all the power for all of this. Bedroom number one. In a bedroom, basically, what uses all the power is this queen size bed, the air conditioner. We get a lot of occupancy during the summertime because it's a cabin in the woods, so people like that vibe. Come up here and swim in the river and go to the waterfall and swim. And here will get hot, so the AC run hard. And again, we don't have no generator at this house. It's just straight solar and batteries. Yeah, nice, man. I mean, the lights, lights are negligible. Lights don't really use much. The fans, you won't even use the fan much. It's the AC. I guess typically people don't use power in the bathroom, but I think some ladies will probably do something in the bathroom with heating elements. Flat iron, blow dryer, all that stuff. It all has to come from the solar panels. And it's all stored in those 6 lithium batteries that we saw earlier. It was very important to me. That's why I mentioned it. This is probably the sixth time. No generator. Because I don't like the noise. When I stay here, I don't want to hear no noise. I don't want to smell anything. Like, I really don't like the gas and diesel smell, which is why I spend a lot of time here in the Blue Mountains. Well, bedroom number two, which I consider this to be the main bedroom because, my Lord, the view. When you're here, you don't really want to move from this room. You don't want to move at all. All of the mountains to the right. You know, the hills, and springtime is coming now, so the amount of flowers, yeah. I'll be spending some time up here during the springtime. The last of 3 air conditioner units. These are 12,000 BTU, by the way, in the bedrooms. These don't use much power, but you have to charge them. The blinds are electric. Um, the one on the door too. The door's open. Again, light bulbs are not worth mentioning because being LED light bulbs, I don't think we have to worry much about consumption. If you don't have air conditioning in your house and you're not using a lot of like heating elements, hot water, or clothes dryer, or even a water pump maybe, then the only thing that will be using power in your house is your refrigerator. Everything else is kind of negligible. The majority of Jamaicans, the refrigerator is what uses most of the power. Because not everybody have AC. So there we have it. Yeah, I almost forgot to show you guys the solar panels. We got here some monocrystalline 430-watt panels. And these are 32 panels. I don't know, 32 times 430 watts. How much is that? Probably can put that in the comments. Help us out a little bit, put that in the comments. So these panels absorb all of the energy that we use in this house. We don't have no generator. I don't have no other way of getting solar power. So I came up here and I just realized immediately that I'm going to have to ask the cleaning crew to clean these panels because they're dirty. We can clean solar panels for you, but the truth is that you want them to be professionally cleaned. You can have us do it. You know, Essential Solar, we do everything. You can wash the panels, it's just like a car. You can wash them off. Soap and water or just water alone and dry them off. Being up here on the roof, I just remember one of the things being powered up here in the middle of nowhere. We have to give thanks to the technology, because when technology is properly used, it really can enrich our lives. We have Starlink internet up here. So I just saw the antenna right there. We have satellite internet. We're not tethered by any wires, but we have the modern conveniences for those who want access to that. This is one of the things I want people to look out for. I even have a friend that I keep telling him that he needs to cut him tree, trim the tree. Look at this. So I just ask our caretaker here to cut away all of that because it's going over and blocking the panels. And then it's dirtying up the panels too. Look there. So my family, if you have whole heap of dirt on your panels and our trees or any shading, you're going to get way less power. It makes a big difference. Another thing to look out for whenever people install your solar panels is look out for if one set of panels are shadowing the next set of panels. I've seen it at my properties and I've had to make corrections. So it's something that I make sure I look out for. Back in the day, I never know any of this stuff. So a couple of my properties had one set of panels shadowing the next set of panels during the winter time, you know. And I had, boy, back in those days, boy, you never get no good service from any solar people. So I had to do them on my own. I don't want to say all of them, but most of them, I guess, that I found this. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Follow me down here. Look at this shadow. You see the shadow? See if this shadow was up here, even right here, you would have lose whole heap of power because the way the panels are wired, if even one set, one line of the solar cells are fully covered by a shadow, it reduces your power by a huge percentage, all up to 50% sometimes. Depends on the solar panel. But these panels, it definitely would have done that. So look out for that when you do your solar installations. If you have a solar system, you can always go and check. Especially during the winter time, the shadow cast far, cast come cross. Yeah, the distance between panels is crucial. It's nice that you can walk between them as well, you know, if you have the space. So don't try to cramp up your roof with panels and then it's not going to perform well if one set of panels are shadowing the other set of panels. You know, so yeah man. So that's the solar panels. 32 of these panels power the entire place with 6 of our 10 kilowatt hour lithium batteries. I mean, I'm showing you the place. Might as well come out on the balcony. You can take a look at what you see out here. Although no power is being utilized. Well, oh, we have some plugs here. People come out here and do whatever. They have electricity out here as well. And boy, this view. Yeah, man. I don't know if I mentioned that we have extractor fans in the house, just you know, for ventilation purposes. We made it to the end of the little tour of my two-bedroom cabin. We call this a waterfall cabin because it's the closest to the waterfall in the Blue Mountains. How I calculate what the solar system is making for me is not in a situation like this is not like how much light I'm saving because this is a cabin where you know we have guests come. So what I do is calculate by how much money does the cabin generate. I have no idea. This has never been hooked up to JPS. So I have no idea how much it would burn, how much what my light bill would be. But boy, 3 AC, water heater, washer dryer, and every time a guest come, them have to wash and dry everything. I don't know, at least 100,000 a month. But how I look at it is, I know that this cabin generates 1,500 to $2,000 US per month, and then you have to pay the staff, obviously. You know. No, imagine if I had to take 100,000 out of that. That's like $700 just to pay JPS. It wouldn't make any sense because this is a lot of, it's a big investment, a lot of money to build the structure and put in all this, the finishes and everything. It's a lot. So it wouldn't make any sense if I had to pay JPS. Thanks to solar, it gave us the opportunity where we could just where we could actually do something like this in the first place. Because remember, probably a mile away to the closest JPS you know, power line or whatever. Look at that house way up there. You know, the road are way down there. Um, so we wouldn't be able to do it in the first place. The cabin wouldn't have all these modern amenities, and even if it did, what we would have to pay on a monthly basis would make it not make any sense, basically. Um, I don't think we would even be able to. upkeep the cabin because the funds just wouldn't be there. So thanks to solar power technology, renewable energy technology, we have this opportunity. So I can actually keep and maintain this cabin in the middle of the Blue Mountains. So I mean, I'm trying to just make it clear, what the possibilities are with solar and how it can enrich our lives. People like to talk about wealth. For most people, as long as your health is in check and everything, for most of us, wealth, look into it. You will see that wealth is just the ability to have access to the basics, whatever you consider to be the basics, without even getting out of bed. So you're not just running in place trying to pay bills. You don't have this bill or that bill to pay just to cover the basics. That is wealth, and that is one of the things that renewable energy allows us: access to energy that we've become accustomed to, the amount of energy that we've become accustomed to using, electricity. Renewable energy is 5% the price of what the old dirty energy, you know, cost. So it's a 95% savings. Not zero, but why? I could say you probably could stay in your bed 6 days out of the week and still maintain access to renewable energy. So you get up one day out of the week. And that's wealth. Wealth is being able to stay in if you want and still be comfortable. And that's what renewable energy is allowing for us now. I have to give thanks for the technology and all of the work and over the years that go into renewable energy. I didn't invent it, and I'm just a part of developing of renewable energy and the implementation of renewable energy. I'm going to show you a lot more, Until next time, take care.